Hello friends and welcome to a replay analysis. We're looking at Ancient Apparition hard support. Archon 5, let's speed up because I think this is a long game, but we are trying to do these a little bit faster. Let's see what you bought. 2 sets of tangos, a salve, you block the hard camp. Ooh, you got the Quelling Blade. I'm down for that. It kind of looks like it's Hoodwink Mars, and I don't know if it's good, but I'd be down to try the Quelling Blade here. Cut all these trees exactly like you're doing. Now, one thought, though, is that I don't know if you want 2 clarities. I think Ancient Apparition actually doesn't really have mana issues the first few minutes of the game. And so I think you could just go for more stats, like, say, 3 Iron Branches, maybe just 2 Iron Branches, a Fairy Fire. Well, I guess we're just talking about clarity, so maybe just 2 Iron Branches. And that's 2 extra damage for every auto attack you'll do, and you will do quite a lot of auto attacks. And if you really need more mana regen after that, you can buy one in. So, like, imagine you'd started with 2 Iron Branches right now. Ooh, okay, so this is a big thing. Always be very careful of aggroing the next creep wave because it limits what you can do. In this case, you'll probably just walk back and no harm really done. But in other situations, you may have wanted to run this way. For example, if it was time to pull or stack or something like that, and now you just can't, because there are creeps following you, and you just don't have options. Your one option is to walk back to lane. So be very careful of that. You might already know that. And if you kind of plan to walk back anyways, then maybe it's okay. But I think you should still be careful because, you know, if they were to go on you there and you get stunned or something, you'd be in a pretty risky spot. Yeah, let's just point out, 2 minutes in. No real need for these clarities quite yet. Pulling a whole wave. I've even seen builds where you just buy like a ton of Iron Branches and then you tango the ones you don't need for the wand after you get like some right-click damage out of them. I would even say you could probably start with 1 set of tangos and then buy the others later. Oh, your positioning right now, very scary. Yeah. Once you see this, you just gotta run away. Maybe even run up here. Either one's okay. I don't know if this was a misclick to turn around or something, because it seemed like you were running away at first. But yeah, if that was a misclick, that cost you your life. If that was a conscious choice, that also cost you your life. Hard camp's been unblocked. You're gonna walk in. Ooh, a little slow. That's okay. I do that all the time. I think you had the right idea. Okay, going for another pull. I sort of think... Does that stack work? No. I think this camp's pretty hard to pull, even if you cut this tree. But maybe this is a timing that's possible. I've only found, like, exactly at 55 pulling in one of these directions to work. I don't know, maybe in the diagonal works. But they are slowed by your thing, so I think it would be pretty tough. I kind of think going 2 points in Chilling Touch. I don't think you'll really need Ice Vortex yet. Now, I think the common build is to go like Chilling Touch, 1, 1, second point in Chilling Touch, and then like max Ice Vortex. Sometimes I see max Cold Feet with 1 point in Ice Vortex. But I just don't think you'll really use Ice Vortex right now in the laning stage. But you could use like a little bit more damage on Chilling Touch. A little... How come I can't select you? I think you're looking at other people. A little lower cooldown, all that. That seems a little more useful in the laning stage right now. Considering TPing mid. Oh, TP to refill the bottle. High level plays. Let's go. You might want to do the sentry first. You have a way to check high ground with Ice Vortex, so you could drop the sentry, then Ice Vortex up here to make sure they don't have anything, and then put your own ward. Not a huge deal, though. I have a feeling of, like, slightly too passive, having watched this. I feel that... there we go. This is good, right? You're hitting him a bunch. I feel that for a hero with such long attack range, and like kind of known for just like constantly poking people. I feel like I didn't see that so much. I feel like I saw you play in the jungle a good amount, but less so just like in the lane poking people. And I think a bit of extra, I think you started to at like the first wave, but then after that it just kind of became a lot of pulling. And I think a little more harassing would have been good. But I mean, you're still getting out of the laning stage pretty all right, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Yeah, Luna looks like she's a bit ahead of Mars. And you are stacking pretty well. That's pretty good too, especially, you know, Tinker and Luna, both of them very farm heavy. Now, if Luna's reaching the point where she's self-sufficient, you could consider playing with this Venomancer and the Spirit Breaker in the bottom lane. It would have been nice for Luna to have a ward somewhere around here before you left. I think Cold Feet combined with like Ice Vortex and then the Veno slows and the Spirit Breaker charge, I think all that would have been really good. Just keep playing together down there and kind of make space. Luna and Tinker just want to farm right now. I think that's what I'm feeling right now. You know, Veno outputs a lot of damage. You amplify that damage. Start taking this tower. There we go. Now we're down here. Hey, easy kill. I think you could probably be down here a minute or two sooner, but we are here in the end. So let's see how it plays out. Yeah, there we go. Entry Ice Vortex. I like it. You could consider cutting some of these trees while you're waiting here. Some of these. This helps to... well, technically it also makes it easier for them to, like, chase you a bit. But I also think it makes it easier for your team sieging the tower in case Venomancer, like, moves up too far. And then he's like, uh-oh, I have no way to get out. I have to run this way. But someone's TP'd up here. Kind of cutting these trees gives people, like, another way to get in and out. And I think that, personally, I think that favors... especially when you have a Venomancer, it favors the team pressuring this tower to have some of these trees cut. Cut his tree! I think he tried. I think he did, actually. But look at this. Easy kill. Let's go. Alright, yeah. So this up to here looks good. Arcane Boots is an interesting choice. I'm going to see what you build with it, but I think the typical boots is Tranquils, because I don't think you actually need... You like have enough mana for a given fight. You know? As long as you're like half mana, you have enough for one fight at a time. Whereas other heroes kind of don't. Like, to use their spells multiple times, they do need the Arcane Boots. They need things like that. I think your positioning here was like... let's see, I think you were going after this kills, but then once it fails, I think you just got to get out. Like, run away right now. This, like, extra few 5-10 seconds here kind of spelled your doom. Don't forget, you're a very fragile hero as Ancient Apparition. You always want to keep your distance. Stay... It's okay if you, like, get pulled into a fight. Especially in that case, you were trying to give vision to finish off a kill. But once it doesn't work out, or once it does work out, you gotta, like, get out and... kind of reset. Okay, I might consider Ice Blasting bottom right now. Just because it's only a 40-second cooldown, they are playing pretty deep. So you're walking out. Okay, I'm okay with this. You're building a Yules. So Yules is a little greedy, I think. It's an old combo with Cold Feet. You Cold Feet someone and you Yules them, and then they fall, and it's a stun, usually. I don't think you need that setup because you have like a Spirit Breaker. You have the slows from the Venomancer. It is kind of nice to have another way to cancel channels against like a Pugna, but I think a 4-staff or a Glimmer Cape here. I know, very boring support items, but like they're boringly consistent. And the Glimmer does a ton for you against these magic damage heroes. And the 4-staff lets you get away from Pugna, Pugna sucking people, break trees, or dodge the ult from Hoodwink. Dodge, well, you're going to get hit by the ult, but it's not going to bounce. I know it's not the best first Mars because of the arena, but You know, it's like one hero who kind of counters the Force Staff, 3 heroes that are like the Force Staff's really good against. And then it never hurts to have against a melee hero, even though PL is pretty good at chasing. So I'd probably just go Force Staff. Force Staff or Glimmer and the Shard. Either one I think would be okay. Let's see, ult bottom. Looks like you're trying to run in here. This would be a good time to ward, by the way. Let's see if you're going to do it. Cool. I'm down for it. I think Spirit Breaker just put that ward, so I'm not going to... If it was up to you, I think these 2 wards, just to be clear, I know you didn't place this ward. I think 2 here is excessive because this tower is like at a 4th health. Now, if this was a full health tower and you were getting ready to like, all right, we're going to be here for the next couple minutes, you know, sieging this tower, then yeah, I wouldn't mind 2 wards, but I still think it's a little heavy overlap. But with this tower being about to fall, you guys are going to be here for like a minute. Oh, look, the catapult wave's here. I wouldn't be surprised if it dies right here. And then, do you really need this vision? Probably not. And then this vision, like, actually this one's okay. But that's why, like, if you're going to be here for a while, it's really nice to see them, like, coming in from both these spots. That pretty much covers every single possible rotation, besides, like, teleporting behind these trees. But once the tower's gone, it's like, we don't really need that vision. I know you didn't place it, but just in case you ever might have considered placing it before, if you had both wards, things like that. The tower. Oh, I got a little distracted there. I'm not gonna lie. It may be a bad idea. I think I might just go for this tower. It feels really awkward to leave this alive. It's almost for sure going to get denied before the next creep wave comes in. And if you had Tranquil Boots, you definitely wouldn't mind tanking a couple tower shots. I don't really feel like you've needed these arcanes so far. I think like Raindrops, Casual, Sage's Mask, maybe a Bassi, all of those are kind of enough. Okay, Tinker gets it. I think that's something you probably could have done too. But we won't worry about it too much. Okay, pushing bottom. Next objective, I'm looking at the minimap. I'm thinking mid lane, you know, just make our way over there. Once you get this bottom lane shoving out, your Luna can make her way down here. She's already, like, farming Ancients. So she goes to handle bottom, and then the rest of you go mid. Tinker will teleport in. So really it's just 3 of you going mid. But I would just, like, follow this Venomancer around. Tell him to, like, push mid, help him out. Or invade their jungle, one or the other. It's a little deep. The hoodwink kill. Or who got that? Oh, the Tinker. Let's see. Yeah, so I didn't mind this kill attempt here, and then I think you guys probably stuck around too long after you got the, I think it was the Lich you guys went on. I guess it's okay though. I wouldn't have expected the whole team to be there actually. What this Venomancer's doing is not the best. He wants to be pushing a lane instead of jungling. If Venomancer doesn't push the lane, you actually can't do much. This is where, like, being a support can be a struggle sometimes, because you kind of need cores to do their job. And if Luna is farming bot, Tinker's farming things, Veno's farming jungle, there's actually, like, nothing for you to do productively. Unless you have a core who's, like, you know, Tinker and Luna are supposed to be hardcore farming, but if they're just pushing lanes, then it's like, well, I guess I'm playing with you now instead of the Venomancer. But if you can, you should encourage the Venomancer to pressure. I don't even care what lane, you know, just a lane. Some lanes better than nothing. I know we kind of sped through that, but I think everything that happened there was fine. Nothing jumped out at me. You guys want to fight? Push bottom a little bit. Venomancer's jungling while Luna's pushing. Feels awkward. Should really be the other way around. Okay, pushing mid. This is good. I'm glad you're here. You could probably be a little further back, by the way. Let's just look at that again. This, global. This, really long range, right? Cold feet, a little shorter, but we don't really need to open with this usually. So, like, when you walk into here, this is within, like, triple arena kind of area. This is within, like, Hoodwink Stun, Frost, or Chain Frost, bouncing kind of radius, right? The Pugna hitting all three of you. So, like, you're a really long ranged hero, both your spells and your attack, so you should be further back. I think you're trying to, like, put these down, but even so, like, look how close you are. This is the range of Ice Vortex. This is the range of Ice Vortex, and this is how close you placed it, how close you walked up. So you could probably place that from back here in the river, and that would just keep you way further back, safer. Now, so far, actually, you have died 5 times. I don't remember every single one. Death was a positioning death, I remember, at the bottom tower. In this case, you end up living, but that could very much be a case where you get killed. So just constantly being aware of positioning a bit is an ever-long process to improve, I think. Okay, let's see. You're making your way top. I'm okay with this. Casually open with Spirit Vessel, and it works. Let's go. Same deal. Let's look at your positioning. Super long-ranged hero. How close are we? We're with all of them. Within Arena, within Chain Frost, within Hoodwink Stun, all of that. So just stay back. Your attacks on this just do not matter. You hit for 90 damage. That's like okay. Luna, 200 damage, right? So she attacks faster than you. She has way more damage. So you are probably doing like a 5th, a 6th of the damage she is. It's like, just stand back. The benefit you get from hitting that tower is not very high. See how close you were to almost getting Arena? You really should be, honestly. I think the Mars messed up a little bit. So you should be in position to be dead right now. Chain Frost bounced off of you a couple times. Oh, we're on Luna. My bad. Let's go back to that. Let's actually watch from your perspective. So yeah, you're just like a bit too close several of these fights. Tinker almost killed himself on the ward, I think. And now when they're dead, now you could be a little closer up hitting this tower. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, that's regardless of what else we see in this replay, that's one thing I want to highlight for you. You seem to be walking really far up a couple of these times. Now, I think the Shard's really good. It gives you a long-range way to cancel blinks, wave clear. Could be really good against the Mars, you know, cancel his stuff. That'd be okay if you went for the blink, or sorry, the Shard here. I know you're close to Yules. But I don't know, the Shard's really good. Should I keep the Tango or pick up the Aegis? Okay, she got it. We're good. All right, so right now, I think your game plan should be to... Oh, lovely. You're drawing arrows. Perfect. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I don't really care what lane you go down. I'd probably say mid or bottom. I'm never going to worry too much about... Well, depending on the rank, I guess. At this rank, I still think, like, as long as we're doing something that someone pointed out, that I'm happy with. I don't even care about, like, oh, what's the most optimal lane. Now, I think the lane you chose is perfectly fine, going bottom. So, yeah, I really don't have any complaints. But even if you went... I would say top is probably the least... is the least ideal place to go right now. But as long as you guys like all went together, I wouldn't care. The reason I think top is not so great is just because that tower doesn't open up too much. I think this bottom tower... Well, technically all the tier 2 towers don't open up too much. But I find this bottom tower here, the one you're sieging right now, to be kind of the easiest to position to take. plus you're like right next to the outpost to get. And then once you get this tower, you don't have to worry about the bottom lane at all. You can just play top with Roshan. So it's kind of nice to be down here while Roshan's dead because you took it. But that's just my own. I don't know if that's officially the best like order or anything, but that's how I've always thought about it. Looks like you guys are trying to go high ground. I hope you don't. There's 2 more tier 2s to go. Draw another arrow for them. I'm not even joking. Just draw arrows for pub players, you know? They just remove the need for them to think. Just show them where to go. Okay, this positioning's much better. You're staying way in the back. Look, just to really emphasize. Mars blinks in. He blinks here. Can he arena both of you? No. Chain Frost? No. Hoodwink? No. Right? So this is much better positioning. Let's look at your spells. I can Ice Vortex on Luna when they jump on her. Great. I can walk in a little bit in Cold Feet if I need to. Great. Global Ice Blast. So we're good on that front. Can I hit them with Chilling Touch? Yes, but Chilling Touch is your least important spell at this point of the game. So who cares? So that's why your spot right now is much better. And now I like it even more. Now you're hiding in the trees. I think that's good. Bit of a preemptive Ice Blast. You guys probably want to back off after that. Yeah, you're kind of moving in a little close again. You should probably have just been like putting Ice Vortexes in here to avoid something like this just happening. Kind of a lot of ults for a Hoodwink. This fight's not ideal. I'm pretty sure your Ice Blast had faded. Excuse me. Pretty sure Ice Blast had faded by the time the fight actually started, so that's kind of why I thought it was a little bit preemptive. Oh, nice. I saw that Lich. I witnessed that. Good play. He smoke dodged the Tinker rockets for everyone else who may have missed that. Okay, you guys got 2 towers out of the Aegis. Probably could have gotten all 3. That Hoodwink plus Pugna combo kind of just killed the Luna. But that happens. 2 towers, and I think that's still all right. You guys probably back off without dying so much there. Would have been a little bit better, but it happens. So now, for you as a support, what you should just do is tell your team, draw the circle. I saw you draw the line before. Don't be afraid to draw circles. Draw more. I like to draw the top half and just say, like, I just want to play here now. Venomancer, Ancient Apparition, yourself, Spirit Breaker, 3 of us, we just play in this area. Let's go look over here. You play in this area, and always have a bunch of Veno wards up here. You keep up good vision, so bring a bunch of sentries, check everything. In fact, if you look at the minimap now, we can see that the enemy has a ward here, and a ward here, and a sentry here. I want all of that gone. So you're going to come up here, you're going to drop a ton of sentries, check everything, watch the recent video to figure out how to do that. You're going to do that, and then Veno can farm this, or Luna can farm it, I don't really care. You guys will slowly whittle this tower, but you don't actually need to get this. You're just like, well, we're here, we're going to hit this tower if it's convenient for us, but we don't actually need to fight for it. The whole point of being up here is to be ready for Roshan and to keep control of this area so that they have no vision and we do have vision preemptively for when Roshan spawns, instead of trying to do it after Roshan spawns. So we just stay here. Tinker will handle the rest of the map, right? Bottom lane, Tinker. Mid lane, Tinker. Somehow top lane gets past you, Tinker will get it. Luna should probably be in this area. She doesn't want to like risk herself, so she can jungle like back here. You know why? Because this is very safe. This is efficient farm, and when a fight breaks out, it's going to hit you guys first. And you'll run away as Veno wards like slow them down, and Luna runs towards you guys. Tinker TP's in, boom, a 5-man fight. You have perfect vision of the area, and then you can go from there. So that is pretty much the high-level view of what you should do. If Luna were to farm somewhere else, she could get picked off on her own. Tinker is much better at it anyway, so. Did you get the shard? Yep. Okay, you're pretty much slotted. Speaking of which, the usual build I see for AA pretty much is like Tranquils, maybe a small item, Force or Glimmer, and then the Shard. That is like a very standard, very good build for almost every game. So you went Arcane Yules. I think this is a bit of a greedier approach, but it's kind of working out. Going Lotus to protect Luna. I'm okay with that. Here you guys are making your way bottom, but you already have all the towers down here. So you're like dewarding this area. That's cool and all, but like, why is a fight gonna happen down here? Really? Right? Why? It would be if they make their way here, which maybe they do, maybe they don't. But they don't have any real reason to come down here. I guess there's a tier 1, but right, you guys can just fight here, and then you don't need vision over here. What's really important and what's coming up is the Roshan. And if you commit too many sentries and wards, I don't think you've committed too many yet. In fact, I don't see any wards being used. I see a couple sentries, but that's all right. You can buy more sentries, I think. I don't think you've used up your whole stock. But yeah, if you commit all your wards down here, then you're just not going to have anything for Roshan. Okay, you know what? Yules did save your life there. I'll give you that. I think Glimmer and Force would have done it too, though. Glimmer and Force can be used on your allies. You guys are pushing high ground because you have 2 kills. I guess it's okay. I don't want you guys to commit too hard because really, I do think Aegis is your next play. Much better. Well, actually, your positioning last time was also good, but I just want to like highlight it, you know, because we gotta praise good things. This is something I'm bad at doing at replays. I never say when you do things well. So this is good, right? Perfect. You can ice vortex him from here. You can move in to cold feet him. There you go, easy, right? And there was never a chance of you getting caught and burst. These guys got caught in arena, and let's ignore the fact he got hexed, right? They're probably not gonna die right away, especially if you, for example, were to have a Glimmer to use on them. But you have 1100 health, so you'll die instantly. So you being way back here, hiding in the trees, this is perfect. This is exactly what you should do. And a couple of those earlier fights where you didn't do it, that's like what I want. Like this high ground push here, the tower's here, and your team's here. You should be like back here, maybe in this tree, maybe behind this tree, instead of like here with them. It's like very minor, right? From here to here. And this is why it's very hard to like notice positioning mistakes. But this makes like a world of difference. Earlier, we were like, oh, you're 2 and 5. You've died once since then. And I haven't had issues with your positioning since then. Okay, that was a pretty good fight on their high ground. And now while they're dead, I don't mind you being a little closer to hit buildings. Okay, killing Hoodwink. We can still go. Alright, I don't know what that Lich is doing. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Take these racks. I don't think we can... Well, actually, maybe with that Pugna kill, maybe you guys could end here. Are you guys gonna try? Kind of looks like it. I see this game doesn't end quite yet, though, so... I guess gonna kill that Mars. Is this what happens? Do we dive too hard? Okay. You're telling me from here, 5 dead. I know he's about to respawn. 5 dead. This tower's almost dead. This is almost dead. This game goes on for 20 more minutes. All right, let's see what happens. Luna should have switched to hitting this tower first, but whatever. Okay. Ancient exposed, but PL now up. Oh, see? Talking about positioning. Where should you be right now? You should probably be like back here. So you're about to die right now. Yep. Let's see how that developed. I think you were probably feeling confident that the game was probably over, but notice, keep an eye on like where they're going. Notice she's low, so you're now way up front under this shard, and now you're gonna die. There's like another positioning death. most of the time, supports, it's not fully true, but a lot of the time supports die due to positioning. And the more you can ingrain it to be like, you're not even thinking about it, you just consciously, unconsciously position behind like your heroes, things like that, in trees, out of blink distance, things like that, you'll find your deaths tend to drop quite a lot. Okay, so, I mean, you're still in a good spot. I would just say, look, close it out cleanly, guys. Like, get Roshan and end the game from there. Just go top kind of deal. Finger's kind of popping off. A little bit. I feel like he's a little bit better with the mechanics than I would expect from a Archon area. I don't know if he's maybe he's just an experienced Tinker player. Let's go with that. Okay, you guys are getting it. Your positioning right now is a little risky. You're probably feeling really confident that you've won the game, and I do see like 2 down here, 1 up here. So this is relatively safe, but it's also a little risky. So like if you're not feeling super confident about the game, I'd probably err on the side of not doing this. Just placing like a very safe ward here, or making sure like Spirit Breaker's with you. Because like just think, even though they're way behind, how long does it take to kill an AA who's got 1300 health? You do have like 2.5 seconds with the Yules. I'll give you that. And then you probably die in 3 seconds after that, right? So the distance from like you dewarding here and then your team doing Roshan, it's more than 5 seconds. So you're dead if they catch you, even though your team is way ahead. So that's like another, yeah, I can call it positioning as well. And that'll be the white text on the thumbnail. Positioning, something positioning. Thinking about positioning. How about that? I like it. Let's do it. Or positioning safely. One or the other. Okay, you got the Lotus? Positioning. Where should you be? Pop quiz, guys. Where should this AA be right now? A little too close. Right? This is arena distance. The person you're probably putting Lotus on is either Tinker or Luna. The person hitting this tower is probably the Luna. So I'm standing like back here, or maybe in these trees. I'd be okay with that too, but probably behind these trees. And then I'm just like ready to throw Lotus on. This is as close as I want to be to Luna, and probably further away because I have like, this is Ice Vortex range, right? So if I need to use Lotus defensively on Luna, this is as close as I want to be. The max range of Lotus. But honestly, the guy who's initiating is probably this Mars, and he doesn't have anything I need to Lotus. So I can stand a little bit behind Luna and hope she doesn't get speared way away from me. But I'll stand further back so I can't get caught in the arena. And then when they jump the Luna, that's when I walk in and quickly Lotus her before like the Lich ult, the Pugna suck, all of that comes in. So right now this is a little too close. You know, as you watch this, ask yourself, like, what am I really contributing standing here? Am I really changing how this push is going to go by hitting this illusion right here, right? What if I just stood back here and did nothing? Does the push change at all? And the answer is yes, actually. Like, your attack on that illusion only threatens your life. It does not change how this game will go or change how this push will go. So this, really good spot to be in. Way back here. Now, getting really close to Venomancer again. I think he must be trying to ward. Yeah. I don't mind that ward. Let's actually go to your team's vision. I think this is all right. I don't think you have to have this ward because you have Ice Vortex and you have a Venomancer, and so I might err on the side of trying to have a ward over here, even though they might have the, by the way, you're positioning right now. Great. They might deward it, but I think it's a little more useful than this one. Yeah, personal preference, though. I'm glad you tried to put any ward for high ground, so, you know, just being nitpicky. I think we talked about this on stream, actually. Kind of remember that. Maybe that was someone else. Okay, this is good, not going in too far. Now you're going in a little too far. I would still want to be like back here a bit. So, see, maybe I should be watching from your perspective. But I hope when we look outside this fight, we can kind of see something I'll talk about on stream. You're a backline support. You're here to support your front line. Where's your front line? Let's call Spirit Breaker the front line. And Luna, she's a ranged hero, but she's kind of on point because she's got the farm, right? So she's in the front too. Then you're back here. Where's their front line? It's the PL right now. The Mars, I don't know where he is. I think he almost died, right? The Mars and then the back line here. And this is like relatively good. And so when this doesn't happen, like for example, Venomancer, he is essentially a frontline hero. He should probably be further up here instead of like next to you. Where he is right now is like a backline hero. Tinker, exactly where Tinker should be. It's like Mars should be really further up front, in my opinion. Spirit Breaker's gonna fall. Now we probably just back out. Here, let's see this again. I kind of like looking at it from this outside view. Your Spirit Breaker's dead. So now, let's talk about that frontline stuff again. Venomancer's your front line. So you want Venomancer to be between you and the enemy heroes. But between you and Venomancer, it's just these empty trees. The real heroes are coming in this way, which essentially makes you on the front lines. So like right here, what should the front be? Venomancer, Luna, and then you as Ancient Apparition should be like back here. Because this becomes your front line, and then you and Tinker become the back line. But right now, you're on the front line as a 1300 health Ancient Apparition who has... Look at this cast range, right? You don't need to be up here. This global spell and all that, right? You're like lotusing someone behind you. It doesn't make much sense positioning-wise. And now you're dead. You can't try to help her out. Although at this case, this is already a poor spot to be in. But I hope that like outside, further out look helps to like give you something to think about when you're playing the game. Like look at where your teammates are and imagine the fight on a grand scheme. Because obviously we can't zoom out further than what we're looking at right now. And I don't know what you're looking at right now. Maybe you're like typing or thinking about shop, buying items, things like that. But yeah, you kind of have to imagine, like, when you see your two heroes here and you see the enemy heroes here, you have to imagine where their backline is and where you should position, things like that. Because we don't get the luxury of being able to, like, zoom way out. Well, honestly, I think that's the key part of this replay, is the positioning stuff we've talked about. I don't even care if you guys win or lose from here. But let's speed up a little bit before this video gets too long. You guys should probably just be doing... Wait, did you guys do Roche earlier? I think you did. Sorry, we like pause and zoom around. I kind of forget. All right, looks like Roche is dead. You guys really probably could have taken that top tower, though, instead of coming up here again. All right. The only thing I want to talk about in this fight... Now, this kind of happened, I think, while you were trying to ward. I don't think you expected this fight to happen. Distance-wise, you are great. You're way back here, and if we think about frontline, backline stuff again, hey, look who's dying right now. It's a Lich. Where's he supposed to be? On the back line. Where is he? He's on the front line. So what happens? He dies. So distance-wise, your positioning's great. The issue with where you're standing right now, which isn't fully your fault, because I know this fight just kind of broke out before you were ready, but... Once it happens, you need to start, like, adjusting, which is what I'm pointing out now. If they move in a little bit, can you follow them? No, because there's this massive wall in the way. Now, if you had 4 staff, where you are would be okay, but you don't, which means if you need to Lotus or Cold Feet someone, you have to, like, walk all the way around here. So, as you start to try to reposition yourself in this fight, you need to keep that in mind and quickly decide, is it safer to approach from down here and then come up here, or to go up here, loop around, and then, like, still not get too close, right? Still keep your distance, but now, when the fight moves down, you can move down as well, because there's no wall in between you. And I think you kind of see that here, like, you're like, fortunately, they stay like barely within your range for most of your stuff. You were able to Lotus, all of that. So in this case, it really worked out. But I'm sure many people who watch this video, I'm sure you've experienced times where you're like, you're just too far, like get a little closer, I can almost Lotus you, you know? And that is, guess what? Positioning. But overall, what you did there was all not too bad. Okay, funny enough, this is not your fault. Well, it kind of depends how you think about it. So, you guys took this barracks. You guys should probably be in retreat mode right now. Let's think about positioning. One of our frontliners is almost dead. So can he frontline? No, he needs to get back. Who's your other frontliner? Luna. Who? Where are you? You're in the back. This is good. Where's Tinker supposed to be? Also in the back. Where is he? He's on the front. What's going to happen to Tinker? He's going to die. And now guess what? From trying to save Tinker, it messed up. Like everyone kind of like bunched up together. And now what's the order? Here's your backline hero. Here's your frontline heroes. Who's going to possibly die? The guy who was supposed to be in the back. Now, I don't blame you here. You were trying to help out the Tinker. I'm just using this as another example of how a lot of things in this game can just be broken down into positioning. That's not true. Like, obviously, there comes into spell usage, things like that. But I like talking about positioning. I think it's harder to see and feel in the game, and I think that's what replay analyses are really good for. I think we will stop here, though. I'm pretty sure you guys should just close this out. Let's just jump forward. I would just... Same deal. It's no different, and in fact, it's even more so the case now that you have these two. I'm just drawing a circle for your team. Play here. Establish vision. Notice... Let's look at your vision right now. Like, notice how this area is kind of dark. So if you did Roche, they could just walk up. You have a ward here. But it would certainly feel easier if you had more vision. So... Before this attempt, I would have been up here trying to establish vision, and now you'll have, like, great, see everything here, and that means as a Roche fight breaks out, and then you chase him here, vision the whole time. Or you're pushing this high ground, and the fight runs away this way, guess what? Vision the whole time. So that's why this area is really good to ward right now. Let's see if you ward it afterwards. Look how fast you are with that haste rune. Okay, looks like you guys are just gonna... Oh, that got a little messier than expected. Okay, yeah, it looks like you guys are just gonna end, so we'll stop there. So let's take a quick look at the graphs real quick. Okay, Luna did all right. Okay, so in the laning stage, the only thing I'm going to highlight is I think you can probably attack a little bit more, and you don't need those clarities on AA. Switch them out for Iron Branches, a Fairy Fire, mix up your gold a little bit, because you're just a very long-ranged hero who will attack a lot, and your mana issues are not very high at the start of the game. You probably will need something if you don't get killed, and you are slowly whittling them down with your spells, but you won't need it right away. So instead of starting with 2 clarities, try starting with something else, and then buy a clarity, buy a mango a little bit later, like with the bounty gold or something. Then try to poke a little bit more. Afterwards, you did leave the laning stage at I thought, a pretty decent time. I think you could have made your way bottom a little sooner, but I'm not going to be too hard on you about it. You know, I think you were trying to make the movement, and I think that's good. I'm like critiquing you like seeing it as if it was an immortal game. I understand it's like it's a little harder to like get people to do things and everything. So you did eventually make your way bottom, and I think that's good. And then the main thing I just want to highlight is all the positioning considerations. You are a backline hero, and many supports are backline heroes, and you got to position yourself in that way. The times we see you die are when you are not in a backline position area, and the times you survive team fights and get away, that is when you were in really good spots. So I hope this replay helped you highlight some of those, not just for you, but anyone else watching. It is a tough concept to really ingrain in yourself, I know, but it's really good for a lot of support players. If you're a support player with a lot of deaths, really try to keep in mind your positioning. So that is it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.